mentioned earlier, actor Daniel Day Kim testified at that hearing today on Capitol Hill on discrimination and violence against Asian Americans. It was the first hearing of its kind in 34 years. Take a listen to some of what he had to say.
What happens right now and over the course of the coming months will send a message for generations to come as to whether we matter, whether the country we call home chooses to erase us or include us, dismiss us or respect us, invisibilize us or see us. Because you may consider us statistically insignificant now, but one more fact that has no alternative is that we are the fastest growing racial demographic in the country. We are 23 million strong. We are united, and we are waking up. Thank you.
Joining us now is someone else who testified at that hearing, chair of the Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus, California Congresswoman Judy Chu. Thank you so much for your time tonight, Congresswoman.
Thank you for having me.
In your testimony today, you said that this crisis has reached a point that cannot be ignored and that you've been sounding the alarm for more than a year now. So how would you say that we got here and what needs to happen next?
Well, first of all, my heart is broken. I'm so shocked that 8 people were killed in Georgia and that this shooter chose 3 Asian businesses, first starting at Young's Asian Massage and then driving 27 miles to 2 more Asian spas. So I would say there was a targeted murder here, and I would say this is a hate crime. But actually this day was coming because we have been spending a whole year trying to combat these anti-Asian hate crimes, which were only stoked even further by President Donald Trump, who called this the COVID, this China virus, the Wuhan virus, and even Kung flu. And he did that despite the fact that the CDC and the World Health Organization said, do not use such terms. Instead, use the neutral term COVID-19 because of the stigma that such names could cause to somebody from a particular geographic location or to somebody from a particular ethnicity. Donald Trump instead doubled down and, in fact, got his followers to say it even more. And as a result, we had hate crimes that were horrendous, but that actually really spiked in this last month with a 91-year-old being pushed to the ground and violently in Oakland, Chinatown, an 84-year-old man that was assaulted and murdered in San Francisco, a Filipino older man whose face was slashed from ear to ear in a New York subway. These are horrendous, and what concerns me is that these are the elderly and more vulnerable people, and it culminated in this most horrific act that took place on Tuesday.
And you talk about hate crimes. Currently, 3 states, Wyoming, Arkansas, and South Carolina, and 4 U.S. territories remain without hate crime laws, and 18 other states did not require data collection on hate crimes. Do you think that Congress can get involved to change this? And if not, what meaningful legislation could actually help Asian Americans feel safer no matter where they live?
Well, this is actually what we've been pursuing this past year. The No Hate Act would vastly improve the hate crime reporting in all the states by implementing a new hate crime reporting system, actually a crime reporting system, but a system that has been slow to be implemented. And it would also provide resources for local law enforcement to actually have a viable hate crime program where they can do training of the officers. And it would provide funds for state hotlines so that the community can report on these hate crimes and feel comfortable doing so, and also perhaps have these in different languages. So there are so many things that we can do. This No Hate Act actually passed out of the HEROES Act, out of the floor twice But we need to get it the whole way through so that it gets signed into law, and then we can have consistent reporting across all 50 states.
From the halls of Congress to the streets of America, as you heard there today, Daniel Day Kim said the 23 million strong are united and waking up. Why do you think in the past some Asian Americans across all walks of life may have been reluctant to speak up about verbal attacks that they've endured? And do you feel like that's changing?
It is changing, but I do have to say that Asian Americans have asked me, oh, is it safe to report? Will it be confidential? They were very fearful. Of course, they were traumatized by the act itself, but then they didn't want to be further traumatized by reporting and then getting investigated or being harmed themselves. So one of my missions is to make sure that the Asian American community feels safe in reporting to these websites like Stop AAPI Hate, that they know that it's a very safe thing to do. Actually, I urge them to do it because I think they will feel less isolated and that they have resources, that there are people that they can talk to with regard to something that traumatized them so dearly.
And lastly, you are the first Chinese-American woman to serve in Congress. And as a young student in college, you enrolled in a new Asian studies course, and you've said that it was like a light went off in your head, inspiring you to get involved. You've now been in Congress for 12 years fighting for what you believe in. What's your message tonight for someone who may be losing hope, someone who's concerned about all of the hate and the pain?
I am actually so encouraged by the level of activism that we've seen in the Asian American community, and also the level of support that we've gotten by allies, by people who want to do something about this. And in fact, in Oakland and in New York, there have been groups that have formed to protect the elderly as they're walking around on the sidewalk. And there have been multi-ethnic rallies in different cities to say, we stand united against anti-Asian hate crimes and incidents. What it takes is organization. It takes advocacy. It takes being out there. So we're actually also calling for a national day to speak out against Asian hate on March 26, because we want to show that we are united in fighting against Asian hate crimes. And we want to show that this is all across the United States, in all 50 states.
So perhaps March 26 will be that day. Representative Judy Chu, we thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.